top, and there are some amazing games that are going to be happening as well. So yeah, it should be a good one. Lots to discuss.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samuel. Yes. Okay, let's just start from the some of the top highlights we have this evening. And let me start with table tennis right now. Over 250 players are set to participate at the Osun National Table Tennis Tournament. Yes, and that's like the 6th edition of the National Table Tennis Championship, which is tagged as the Michael and Felicia Alabi Memorial Table Tennis Tournament, scheduled to take place in Ayegbaju, Osun State, from April 12th to 17th this year. This was organized by, it's being organized by the Osun State Table Tennis Association under the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation, and supported by that foundation, Michael and Alabi and Felicia Alabi Foundation. And we're expecting that a lot of it's going to be a competition where young talents will be groomed, will be discovered, identified, and developed. From the other 15, we have a lot of veteran competition, parallel, and a lot of things. Last year it was Abdul Basit, Abdul Fatai of Kwara United, and also Hope Udoaka of Cross River State were the ones who emerged as in the male and the female category respectively in that event. Okay, let's move away from there. Let's just talk it. Let's still add some local stories, and let's add it there that the FA Cup, yes, you know what we call it, the oldest competition in Nigeria, the FA Cup. At one time, it has rebranded and they started calling it the Presidential FA Cup. But regardless, either Presidential FA Cup or FA Cup, it is still the same tournament. Yes, set to begin this month with preliminaries starting on the 22nd of March to 26th of April. There have not been any dates of kickoff yet, but we believe that clubs and both clubs in the local and the state level. When I mean local, I mean non-league clubs have also been they've been showing their interest in registering for that tournament. Don't forget, Kwara United were crowned champions of that tournament when they defeated Abakaliki FC, who played in the NNL. Yeah, Abakaliki FC, who played in the NNL. Yes, that's talking about. United play. But based on that, every tournament they binding the participation of clubs or participants, and we also have it that a sum of 1 million naira is a fine for any club who fails to honor matches in the national preliminaries, and also we also have that any club that fails to show up for any match after concluding registration for the competition at the state level will be made to pay the sum of 500,000 naira. Okay, let's move away from there. Let's talk about the Nigerian Commonwealth Games. Don't forget, the Commonwealth Games is set to begin this year, and we have been seeing a lot of participation. And yes, from a lot of countries. Nigeria is not left behind. And one of you know why we participate in the Commonwealth Games is because we are English-speaking countries. All English-speaking countries, let's say countries that were colonized by Britain, are set to participate in the Commonwealth Games. Now Nigeria would not be left behind, and that's why we have the story here talking about the Nigerian Commonwealth Games boxing squad. They have actually identified the people when we're talking about the athletes that will be representing the country. Yes, the Nigeria, they've named 10 boxer squads, yes, for the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. If you are ready to go to Scotland, I think this is the best time to visit Scotland. If you've been thinking about to go to the UK, this is the best time to visit Scotland. Yes, the Commonwealth Games later this year. They've concluded the open trial at the boxing complex at the National Stadium, Surulere. That was on last Friday, where they've selected people that will be participating. The UK-based boxer and 2023 African Games gold medalist Patricia Mbata was among the standard performers, and who also claimed gold in the women's 70 kg category to secure a place on the team. A result that would delight former world heavy champion Anthony Joshua, who had sent her a video message earlier in the week urging her to win. We also have other representatives like Udot Happiness 51 kg, Ajisola Khadija 57 kg, Shodikpe Damilola 65 kg, Edoka Kalestine 70 kg, while 5 male qualifiers, Oguremi Michael 55 kg, Wahab Abdulrahman 65, Poli Azan 70 kg, Daniel Joshua 80 kg, and Anigbodo Kenneth 90 kg. According to the technical director of the NBF, that's the Nigerian Boxing Federation, Babatunde Laguda, he commended the resilience of the athletes and official, noting the intensity of the trial. Most times the fight ended late into the night, but we ensured fairness in every bout. That was coming from Babatunde Laguda, and also from Vivian Asimene, who is the Secretary General of the Nigerian Boxing Federation, who also said that the performance of the boxers were really standout, and they cannot wait to see Nigeria participating at the Olympics. Talking about the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, that's in Scotland. Looking at it, Nigeria in 2022 during the Birmingham outing, where 9 fighters led by Captain Abdulaziz Oshoba returned with 4 medals, 1 silver from Elizabeth Oshoba, and also 3 bronze courtesy of Sitia Ogunshemilore, Desita Unakwe, and Ifeanyi Oyekwere. And that's the way we did. The Commonwealth Games begins July 24th to August 1st at the XE Center in Glasgow, where we have games like athletics, swimming, gymnastics, cycling, netball, bowls, and basketball. We are still in the sports stories, and we're giving the highlights, the top stories we have there. Let me also put it to you that yes, Gianluigi Buffon, he has backed Nigerian descent Kayode, who plays from Brentford, to get a smooth switch to the Italian national team. Don't forget, Kayode is eligible to play for Nigeria, and he's also eligible to play for Italy. But this time around, it's coming from the captain of the Azzurri, the former captain of the Azzurri, talking about Gianluigi Buffon, former player of Juventus and former PSG player, saying that he urged Michael Kayode to consider that switch. And that's talking about that as all the national team to consider calling Michael Kayode before he commits his international future to Nigeria's national football. Moves away for Italy. Remember, Bibili is talking about Ogbonna, who played for West Ham. At one point, he played for a couple of clubs in the Italian Serie A. I'm talking about Angelo Ogbonna. That was a Nigerian player. He was of Nigerian descent too. He could have actually played for Nigeria, but he chose to play for Italy. That's talking about Angelo Ogbonna. He had some spell in the English EPL, and this time around, that's one thing that Buffon is saying right now, that hey guys, we've seen players like Ogbonna, and let us see how this guy can commit to play for Italy. Don't forget that Kayode was born in Novara province, yes, in Bongo Manero in Italy, and is to Nigerian parents. And Kayode is eligible to play for both Italy national team and Nigerian senior team. With the March international window approaching, Italy will be chasing qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup through European playoffs. Buffon believes that the national team should move quickly to secure Kayode's commitment, yes, under the leadership, under the tutelage of Coach Gennaro Gattuso. That's just the way from Buffon, saying that, hey guys, we cannot afford to miss a player like Kayode. Before Nigeria snapping off from our feet, let us get him as soon as possible. And let's also put it immediately. We still have that story there talking about the WAFCON. Yes, I know a lot of people wants to hear the story. What's going on with WAFCON? Let me put it to you immediately. WAFCON that is set to start March this month has been postponed to July. A lot of complexities have been ongoing on background, and now right now CAF has officially come out to discuss and to review that the original scheduled game to begin 17th of March, that's talking about later this week, next week Monday, has been postponed to 25th July. Yes, also, although they've been having conversations that Morocco had stated that they will not be hosting the game. That was a late back out, and this time that has actually thrown cold chill to every participating country, including the Super Falcons of Nigeria. But right now, we are looking at that it's going to start by, just like I've stated, going to start by July. And that is where we all stand at the moment. At the moment, Nigeria, the defending champions, will also be looking towards towards defending their title. Don't forget the Super Falcons of Nigeria, they've won 10, and this time they'll be looking forward to defend their title as well. Just to wrap up the headlines, the head stories we have this evening, and let me just put it there immediately that we have this very, very funny story, and I think that we'll be bringing someone to discuss about. 23 players were sent off in Brazil. You know, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just so funny. How would they send 20? How many players play in a game? You know, 11-11, that's 22. That means they had to bring in another player from the bench. That game was eventually cancelled. You know, they was actually stopped. Sorry. 23 players were sent off, you know, in a Brazilian league game. And if you look at it, when I saw the video, I was just laughing. And it was between the chaos broke out at the Campeonato Mineiro final between Cruzeiro and their first local rival, Atletico Mineiro, leading to 23 players from both sides being sent off in Brazil. That referee itself no get you. The referee just they give you. The competition on Sunday in Belo Horizonte was sparked with deep stoppage time as Cruzeiro's 1-0 win when Atletico's goalkeeper Everson rugby tackled Christian to the ground after the midfielder collided with him when contesting a ball that the keeper has spilled. Everson kneeled on Christian, catching Christian's face, then shouted at his prone opponent while applying pressure while, while applying pressure to Christian's back. That prompted an angry reaction from Cruzeiro's player who converted Everson, pushing him into the net and triggering a fight. A brawl then began next to the inside the other half with players kicking, punching, and pushing while security officials and others tried to separate them, you know. And before we knew it, everybody started collecting record. Cruzeiro's coach, Tite, former Brazil manager, thanked the fans for their support after the win. I want to convey the quote to the Cruzeiro fans, the affection and the respect I have for them. These people now, in a final, they see collect record, but that was just the way it was. It was really, really a very, but Sam, you know, when something like this happen, you know, in the Nigerian league, we always quick to say, oh, that's what they do in Africa. But look at Brazil. It shows that when there's fight or anything, it can happen anywhere. Imagine 23. I don't think such has ever happened in Nigerian league. 23
Yeah.
players. It's just so funny.
I mean, I haven't seen the video, but I did read that story. I read that story today. Like you said, stuff like that can happen in Nigeria, but in Brazil, it's much more. It's much more 10. It's like 10 times or 100 times more, maybe likely to happen
Mm,
because I think the Brazilian league, there's not a lot of control in that league.
mm,
When I say that there's not a lot of control, I mean like safety and stuff like that. But
mm,
it's just mad to see that many players, 23 players. Last time I checked, it was just 22 players to a game. Where the extra man comes in, I don't know. But for 23 players to get red carded like that is just absolutely baffling, and
mm.
it's a funny one, honestly. Honestly.
It's a funny one. Okay, let's start. Let's be also at today that the NWFL, the Nigerian Women Football League, resumes this Wednesday, and we'll be seeing a lot of the pictures out already. We um, can't wait to see several responses and that from the teams. We'll be having Abia Angels against Conference King Queens, and also we'll be having FC Robo against Sunshine Queens, Remo Stars Ladies against. Okay, yeah, that was played last week. Okay, Conference Queens against FC Robo Queens, Abia Angels, Remo Stars Ladies, Sunshine Queens against Delta, and also Ayun DM Queen against Ocean Base, Nazara Amazons against Danat Ladies. These are the games that will be played from the NWFL there. Okay, let's just move, and we also start to look at other conversations in the Sporting World. We'll be back after this time out, then we'll just go strictly to the stories we have in detail this evening. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. This is the Sports Radio Show, your favorite frequency, WFM 91.7 Women Radio. Before I forget, yesterday was the International Women's Day. And I think it's never too late to wish all the amazing and great women doing so well in the society, breaking barriers, raising the bars every time, putting smiles into our faces. I would love to say congratulations and happy International Women's Day. Yesterday was in our program, but I feel like we can still appreciate women for what they are doing. I can tell you, women, they've made the world a better place. Honestly, yes, they have actually made the world a better place. When you read stories of how women have actually they've broken barriers, they've raised the bars over and over again, I can tell you that without any further ado, without any controversy, those people they've really, really done well. Okay, let me just see if we can just put in the story we have there. I'm talking about Blessing Ogudiro, talking about the fact that during the weekend she really did well. Blessing Ogudiro and Queen Usunobon, the one gold medal at the NAII and NJCA Indoor Track and Field Championship. Yes, with 4 Nigerians finishing on the podium across 2 competitions. And if you look at it, competing for Warner University Royals, Ogidino continued a remarkable indoor season by winning the women's 60-meter title as they who went unbeaten in the 60-meter throughout the indoor season and also marked the long-standing NAI record of 7.2. So I can tell you, I'm so proud. Bars, they are breaking barriers, they are raising the bars every time, putting smiles into people's faces. I can't overemphasize how the Super Falcons of Nigeria and the Big Tigers, sorry, actually did so well. You know, looking at how they were able to win Melda. I remember the Super Falcons, they got to the 10th title. Yeah, and you know the way we do it. Our ladies are always tough. They are always there to give us the best. And that is why at WFM Women Radio, we don't shy away from saying the things, from preaching the message about how women, about gender equality, about how women are really, really the top stars, are really, really if you look at in the sporting world, if you start mentioning the great things that Nigeria achieved, about 70% were from women. If you look at it, from women, from national tournament, from individual performances, here and there, you know, still women. It tells us about the fact that we need to do much more. And the government needs to come into the picture about how to do a lot of investment, you know, how to invest heavily into women based sport, into sport that are being participated by women, you know. I mean, when it comes to the female football, when it comes to basketball, when it comes to volleyball, when it comes even in the Nigerian Women Football League, you know, a lot of women get equal, equal value, equal rights, equal funding, just like the men. I can tell you that there's nothing that is not achievable if we put a lot of energy into it. We can have much people watching the female football league just the way the men watch it if we put a lot of energy and tenacity into it. I strongly believe that. And that's one thing I think the government should work towards in doing for us, especially when it comes to the women league. Okay, we're still talking about the stories because I have a lot of things to talk about, even in the Champions League. But let's talk about the Tigress, and let me put it there. Now the final roster is out. We have our ladies talking about Promise Amukamara, Elizabeth Balogun, Blessing Ejiofor, Nicole Enabosi, Rita Igbokwe, Ezine Kalu. If you know Ezine Kalu, if you remember the last people of Afro Basket, you shouldn't forget Ezine Kalu, Palas Kunai, Victoria Okonko, these ladies, Coach Rena Wakama, they are ready to take the FIFA World Cup qualifier, to take it by storm in France. And also we already have that. We also have some provisional players who are also released. We have Pius Bergi, Dubai, Adenike Olawuyi, Grace the Fossa, Wando Emba, and Tewogbade Mulolua also missing out on the final squad. The Tigers will begin their campaign, yes, 11th of March, later this week, and then face South Korea 12th of March. The Philippines, they'll play against Colombia 11th, play against South Korea 12th, Philippines 14th, and France on the 15th, and Germany 17th of March. We believe this is going to be a big one for the Tigers of Nigeria. Then the top three in this group will qualify for the Women's World Cup, which will take place in Berlin, Germany, from 4th to 13th September 2026. We cannot but wish the Tigers all the best. We believe in this season of this month of women, we believe they're going to put that smile into our faces. Do you have something you want to share with me, Sam, before we go for the break by 6:30?
No, just to say that in general, happy International Women's Day to all the ladies, all the women, both in the UK and Nigeria, and that especially in sport as well, that women are doing so much. They're breaking barriers, as you said, and they're really like those up and coming women in sport, whichever discipline they're in, they're really making a name for themselves, and they should just keep doing it, keep going at it, and may more success be coming their way. That's it.
Take the break. We'll be back after this. Then we'll go strictly to the Champions League preview, and also talk about the FA Cup results that we played over the weekend. We'll be back after this time out.
Tune in to Women Radio 91.7 for everything women.
Nigeria, a nation of many languages and many tribes. We will stand together, live together, and grow together. United we stand, united we thrive. This message is brought to you by Women Radio WFM 91.7 FM.
HB 1349 ní nọ́mbà ìwé òfin ilé aṣòfin 1349. HB 1349 ó wà fún àwọn ipò tí a fi pamọ́ sílẹ̀ fún àwọn obìnrin ní ilé aṣòfin àgbà, ilé aṣòfin aṣojú àti àwọn ilé aṣòfin ìpínlẹ̀. Tí o bá fọwọ́ sí HB 1349, ìjọba wa yóò dára sí i. Ẹ jẹ́ kí a panupọ̀ kí a sọ fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ilé aṣòfin wa kí dìbò fún HB 1349 fún Nàìjíríà tó dára. Tí o bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ Nàìjíríà, ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún HB 1349 kí o fi ìfilọ̀ yìí ránṣẹ́ sí ẹlòmíràn. Ìkéde yìí wá láti Women Radio 91.7.
Every day, Lagos wakes up to millions of dreams in motion. From early mornings on the road and markets where business never stands still, Lagosians keep pushing. Different lives, different hustles, one city. And behind it all, Lagos works for you. Show up for Lagos. If you live in Lagos, file your annual returns and pay your taxes.
All individual taxpayers in Lagos State, you have until the 31st of March 2026 to file your annual tax returns. To file, log on to www.etax.lirs.net, enter details, file, and click submit. Filing your annual tax returns is easy, quick, and makes all the difference. File your annual income tax returns for all income received from all sources from January 1st to December 31st, 2025. Take notice that failure to file your individual income tax returns is a contravention of the excellent provisions of the Nigeria Tax Administration Act NTAA 2025, which attracts administrative penalties in addition to other stiff sanctions as prescribed by the Act. For inquiries, visit www.lirs.gov.ng or call customer service on 0700 2255 5477. This message is from the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, LIRS.
otu ụmụ nwaanyị Igbo mgbasa ozi Women Radio Membership n'olu bekee na-ejikọ gị na ụmụ nwaanyị azụmahịa ndị ọzọ, ndị ọchụnta ego, ụmụ akwụkwọ, ndị nlekwa ezinụlọ, ndị ọrụ ugbo na ndị ezumike nka dị na steeti 36 nke Naịjirịa. Dịka onye otu ụmụ nwaanyị Igbo mgbasa ozi, azụmahịa gị bụ nke a ga-akwalitere gị n'efu n'igwe mgbasa ozi ụmụ nwaanyị. Ị ga-enwetakwazi ihe nrite ihe ọma ndị dị ịtụnanya dị iche iche, ma nwetakwazi ohere ịnọ ma sonyere ihe omume anyị gasị. Tinye Women Radio app n'ekwentị gị taa iwe nụrụ olu gị n'igwe mgbasa ozi. Debanye aha n'efu na wfm917.com ma gbaa mbọ hụ na ị na-esonyere otu chịkọtara ụmụ nwaanyị igwe mgbasa ozi. Ọ nwere ntịkọrịta ozi Facebook, ọ bụ otu ma Alpha Foundation and Nigeria Media Innovation Program NAMIT NAHIDA ha na-akwado otu a bụ Women Radio Membership.
His Royal Majesty, Kábíyèsí Aláyélúwà Ọba Dr. Kehinde Gbadewole Olúgbénlé FNIVS, FNIM, RSV, DSC, DLITT, Asade Agunlóyè IV, Olú of Ilaro, paramount ruler of Yewa Land and chairman of the State Council of Oba, hosts the 5th men-only town hall meeting in Ilaro, Ogun State. This men-only town hall meeting brings together custodians of our culture to discuss the important roles men play in protecting women and girls while fostering stronger family and community bonds. Date, Tuesday, 17th March 2026. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Venue, Oba Olúgbénlé VIP Hall, Asade Agunlóyè Pavilion Ground, Ilaro, Yewa, Ogun State. This exclusive gathering is proudly initiated by Women Radio WFM 91.7, strictly by invitation only.
Are you looking for a place to advertise your business at affordable rates or a hall to host all your corporate events and conferences? Then don't look any further for all your advert placements, live interviews, announcements, religious programs, event bookings, and lots more. Give your business the boost and reach your target audience at an affordable rate here on Women Radio 91.7. What are you waiting for? Hurry now. Call the numbers 0905 555 8998, 0806 009 2137, or 0816 060 5673, or email us at sales@wfm917.
Ayé ìgbádùn tó fẹ́ jẹ. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú bó ṣe ń ná owó rẹ̀. Ètò tuntun tó ń bọ̀ lórí Women Radio 91.7 yóò kọ́ ọ bí a ṣe ń náwó, bí a ṣe ń tọ́jú owó àti bí o ṣe lè ní owó tó pọ̀ jaburata. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, Amọ́nì yóò kọ́ ọ ní ètò ìṣúná bí o ṣe lè lo owó rẹ̀ lọ́nà tó tọ́ àti lọ́nà tó yẹ. Lórí Amọ́nì, kò sáyè ìsápamọ́ lórí kó o yáwó, kò sáyè ọ̀nkú bí o tí ì jẹun bẹ̀ yẹn. A ó kọ́ ọ bí o ṣe ń náwó, bí o ṣe ń tọ́jú owó àti bí o ṣe lè dá wà láàyè ara rẹ̀. Pàdé wa lórí Women Radio 91.7 ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Tuesday láago 3:00 ọ̀sán. Women Radio 91.7 ohùn fún obìnrin. Amọ́nì, gbogbo obìnrin ní láti gbọ́.
Are you a business owner, freelancer, or salary earner in Lagos State? Taxes are not just bills to pay. Taxes are investments to develop your Lagos and your future. Women Radio, WFM 91.7, in partnership with Lagos Internal Revenue Service, LIRS, bring you Tax Radio every Wednesday at 5 p.m. p.m. and every Friday at 6:05 p.m. with tax experts on your tax rights and obligations in Lagos. Tax Radio with LIRS on Women Radio WFM 91.7 Wednesdays at 5 p.m. and Fridays at 6:05 p.m. Empower yourself with your tax rights and obligations in Lagos.
Women Radio 91.7. Your station, your story.
Okay, yes, good evening. Welcome back to the Sports Radio Show. Yes, don't forget, this is your favorite frequency, WFM Radio 91.7. Sam is in the studio. Dami is also in the studio. Yes, great minds of people. We are going to talk about stories across Europe. And let me start with something that is happening right now, talking about Laporta and Xavi Hernandez. It's looking like a power tussle there because former Barcelona coach Xavi Hernandez has said that the club's president, Joan Laporta, has crippled the return of all-time great Lionel Messi in 2023 to avoid power struggle. The 8-time Ballon d'Or winner left Barca for Paris Saint-Germain in 2021, then 2 years later moved to MLS side Inter Miami. But this time around, Laporta, Xavi has also accused Laporta that he doesn't want Messi to take over the leadership of the club, looking at the fact that Messi would actually expose some certain things that the current president has been doing, and that's one thing that is ongoing right now. He said that everything was ready for Messi's return. There was no doubt in the football sense, but we are going to do a last dance like former NBA star Michael Jordan. Laporta, who resigned as president a few weeks ago to run for re-election this week, suggested Monday former coach Xavi was bitter and said Messi's father and agent George had told him the superstar had decided not to come back. Let me also add this there before we go to other stories. We have talking about the ongoing regional conflict happening in the Middle East. Don't forget Iraq, about two weeks now. Iraq and the Middle East have been facing a lot of issues there, and this is coming from Iraq reaching out to to FIFA to postpone their regional playoff due to the ongoing conflict happening between the US-Israeli conflict with Iraq at the moment, and this is why Iraq is seeking for a World Cup playoff delay due to this issue. And as a result of this might affect the calendar, because looking at the fact that March has been stipulated for that international break where Iraq has to play there. Due to that, a lot of things has been happening. Recently, the former captain of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, talking about Aziza Oshoala, she couldn't land in a club, that's Saudi Arabia, in a club country, Saudi Arabia, due to the ongoing crisis as the plane was rerouted to another place. She was coming from the United States, but the plane was rerouted due to the ongoing conflict happening in the Middle East. Let's give the result of the Nigerian Premier Football League that were played over the weekend, and let's just have it there that Rivers United are back to the top of the table with 52 points, and Enugu Rangers are back. They are in the second spot with 50 points. Nasarawa United, third position, 47 points. Where's Ikorodu City? Now in the fifth position with 45 points. Now let's talk about the bottom four. We have Eyimba, yes, in the 17th position, 33 points. Kwara United, 32 points. Khalifa, 32 points. And Remo Stars, Dami Club, they are already soaking Gary in the 20th position with 30 points. The result, we have Kwara United defeated Casina by 2-1. Yes, talking about the former captain Ahmed Musa scoring the lone goal that trumped Barrel by and also Rivers United defeated Benders by 3-1. Plateau United beat Niger Tornadoes by 3-0, and also we have Abia Warriors showing Shooting Stars the best way to fight. It was a game of two Warriors, but won a match. That is Abia Warriors, and that is then the 2-0. Nasarawa United also defeated Ikorodu City and Lafia, while Kun Khalifa beat Bayelsa United by a lone goal. Eyimba and Warri was intended 2-1 there, while we have Enugu Rangers and Remo Stars. Yes, it has always been a big tussle in the last two seasons between both sides. It ended 4-1 in favor of the Flying Antelope, while Wiki Torres also defeated Academy Warriors by 2-1. to 1. And that's the way we have it. But surely we are going to the World Cup, to the Champions League preview this evening. And what we have right now, there are games that if you are not ready, don't bother to watch the game. Games of champions. They already said that if you want to be a champion, you have to beat one. And that is what is going to happen right now. PSG against Chelsea. If you want to be a champion, if Chelsea wants to prove that they are the champion, they also needs to beat PSG. Don't forget that they met during the World Club Cup. Yes, where Chelsea defeated PSG where it matters. But this time around, they're going to be meeting in the round of 16. Yes, and this first encounter is going to be at the Parc des Princes in France. And also, we also have another top game there. Real Madrid against Man City, another tough one. If you remember vividly, how Man City beat Madrid to move to the final then. That's some two years ago. But this time around, what is going to happen? And I have my two guys here, Sam and Dami. I want to know the sides you're taking right now as we have this conversation. It's going to be like an ataku. The phone line is open. I'd like to get your call, and I want you guys to choose your sides because it's going to be like that. Sam is going to be standing with Chelsea. I don't know why an Arsenal will be supporting Chelsea against PSG, but let's look at it. Let's leave it like that. Why Dami also will be standing with PSG. Now, let me say the battle line has been drawn. It has already been drawn the moment the round of 16-50 has already. The battle line has been drawn. Let me see who's going first. Okay, Dami is going first. Dami, Paris Saint-Germain against Chelsea. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen with Luis Enrique playing against Chelsea under Rossonero? Let us see what's going to happen there. Between that, the drum has been set, the line has been drawn. Let us get the set. Dami, from your own perspective, let us get. You have just 1 minute 30 seconds. Let me get your reaction, your perspective about the game. Chelsea against PSG. We're trying to get Dami. Dami, we cannot hear you. If you can hear us.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yes, Dami. Okay, let's go.
Okay. So the game between PSG and Chelsea is not a game that started today, and we can't call it a rivalry because both of them are not playing in the same league. But then let us look at past antecedents between PSG and Chelsea. And if you look at the ties that has happened between both clubs, Chelsea has mostly prevailed by the Champions League when David Luiz was still in France before coming to Chelsea. But then let's look at the recent. Let's look at the recent head-to-head. The last game in the FIFA Club World Cup, Chelsea won by 3-0. And then after the victory, we saw what happened after that accident. But then let's look at PSG's form in the league and also Chelsea's form in the league. Chelsea are outside of the top 4, while PSG are second on the log in the French Championship. And PSG haven't played in like 4 or 5 games because they are trying to rest some of the key players. And also FFP, that's the league body in charge of France football, and giving them the opportunity to be well rested against Chelsea. And Chelsea played about 2 days ago against West Ham in the FA Cup. So it's going to be a game of someone who has the will for both teams. It has to be who want to get the prize, who want to make it to the next round. And with the way Chelsea are compact and how these players play, it's going to be a tough one for Chelsea because PSG have one of the best attacks in Europe. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Bakola, Doué, Vitinha in the midfield, Fabian Ruiz, Zaynab. These guys are top guys. The only place where I know that PSG will be having issue is only in the area of goalkeeping. And I still ask the questions, why sell Donnarumma? So for me, regardless of whatever happens, I'm still going to give PSG the tip, even if I'm not going to say which team I'm going to be supporting. But then PSG have the edge. They are well rested. They have one of the best attacking throw. They have a veteran manager in Luis Enrique who has managed the Spanish national team and also Barca, and also now in PSG. So it's going to be a nice take encounter between both sides.
You've made your choice that they are rested. They have all it takes. But Sam, do you agree with that? That's not even. I believe even resting too much can be a problem. Or what do you think, Sam? Chelsea, PSG.
I mean, yeah, resting too much can pose a slight problem because your fitness levels will be down and it will take a lot for your mind mentally to get back into the game. From Chelsea's point of view, this they hold the advantage being that they've won the last encounter in the Club World Cup, so they will be thinking, oh, while we have done this in the Club World Cup before, we can do it again in Europe in the Champions League. This is also an opportunity for Liam Rossignol to, take charge like in a big Champions League game like this with the players that he has, Cole Palmer, uh, Liam Delap, Pedro Neto, João Pedro, all these guys. Some people will be saying, "Oh, you can't." They may not be able to like live up to the pedigree, but if you look at how they got into this position, they won 5 of their 8 league games in the league phase, including I believe they beat. 1 second, sorry. I believe they even
won
beat
against Napoli.
they even beat they even beat Napoli and Barcelona. So it shows. So this definitely demonstrates that they can beat big top side teams, and I don't see why they can't go and beat PSG and cause a shock. And just briefly, I just want to touch on the Champions League draw itself. That I think there's a particular reason this Champions League draw as a whole was made as it was, and the teams who are facing who, particularly. On one side, the left-hand side, if you look at it, you have Champions League pedigree, you have Champions League royalty. At least 3 different teams have won almost 20 plus Champions Leagues between them. And on the other side is a side of, with the exception of Barcelona, everyone on that side has a big opportunity to try and like show up, where they want to go in the Champions League, really cement themselves as a potential Champions League winner. So this Champions League season is one to really watch. If you are not ready for it, prepare yourself. Otherwise, shy away, because Champions League is not for the weak. And that's all I can say.
Okay, so the phone line is open. It's 07917 917 917. Let me get your reaction. Are you for Chelsea or you are for PSG? But if you look at it, from the last game, you can say, oh, Chelsea has an edge. And that's what I'm coming to Dami now, that if you look at it from the perspective of the change in the technical crew, is that not going to be like a disadvantage for Chelsea against PSG? Because the coach that defeated PSG has left. And the coach that lost to Chelsea is still currently there, which means he would have looked into the defects, the mistakes, and everything, and trying to perfect where they made mistake and where they played. So I would like to.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. You mentioned something that the coach that won has left, and there's a new coach, which means that a new coach, a new system, a new pattern, a new approach, which is very, very still strange to PSG, because this is the first time PSG will be meeting this Liam Rossignol side. Although they might have done the assignment of watching the videos of past Chelsea games in the UCL against Barca, against Napoli, even their league games in the EPL. But trust me, European night is different from league game, and you are set to witness that very soon.
Okay, before that, let's look at Liam Rossignol's profile since he joined Chelsea. Let's see, how many games has he played? Nine, 10 wins. But let's see, any Champions League, the only Champions League game he had played with Chelsea was against Napoli, and that game was almost close. Napoli could have changed the narrative of that game, 3-2. And do you think that's enough thing to really bank on him against PSG, who they might not really have the best of time, but they are still very, very formidable? Jamie.
Well, I think what I'm going to say to that aspect is the fact that let's look at when he was appointed. But then let me not drop out it because that question doesn't belong to me. It belongs to Sam.
Okay, so Sam, looking at Resilios' profile, 10 games so far. I mean, let's say 10 wins out of all the games he has played. He has only played one Champions League game, so we can't really say that he has been very conversant with the conversation with Champions League. Do you think that might be an easy top up for PSG?
It'll be difficult for PSG to come up against Chelsea like this because, like you said, it's a new manager, new system, and with the one game that Liam Rosinha has managed with his team, obviously it's going to take him some time to get used to it. But I will stress that he obviously doesn't have time because the game is tomorrow, Wednesday. I don't know, but what he can do is he can approach the PSG game with his system and find a weakness in the side somehow to get his Chelsea team, to have the advantage, because being a new manager in a new setting against a Champions League winner like PSG themselves, they can also find cracks to exploit that PSG team one way or another. So it'll be a great opportunity for Rosinha to really, like, the way he puts his team out on the pitch with the players that he has and finds those weaknesses to exploit that PSG team, because he has the players to do it.
But I mean, PSG lost their last game to Monaco, 3-1. That's like already giving a sign that these guys don't look compact. They don't look compact the way we know them during the Champions League.
PSG have been very, very inconsistent this season, though. In the league seasons, they have been very inconsistent, and I think that is down to the fact that the motivation to win it all isn't really there again. Because if you look at the PSG that played throughout last season, you could see the drive, you could see the motivation, but then this season, it is certain that Luis Enrique will step down after the end of his contract. Some key players are expected to leave, so you can see the cracks already. But then that cracks does not mean that PSG are into PSG. They are still one of the fearsome team in Europe right now. So I give it to them.
That's actually serious there. Well, we're still trying to take that. Okay. Let us, the phone line still open. Is 07917 PSG against Chelsea. It's gonna be on Wednesday, but let me give other results, other games that will be played, and I think we're still gonna have that conversation. Galatasaray against Liverpool, and he's talking about Victor Osimhen has been talking tough that, hey guys, hey, I'm not joking right now. You remember what I did to you? I am back. Atlanta against Bayern too. We have Atletico Madrid against Tottenham, Newcastle against Barcelona, Leverkusen against Arsenal, PSG against Chelsea, Bodo Glimt against Sporting, Real Madrid against Man City, Sporting. Okay, and that's just the way it is. Real Madrid against Man City. Sam, should we be expecting the an heavy downfall at the Santiago Bernabeu?
What do you mean by heavy downfall?
From Man City.
I don't know how to answer that question, honestly, because both sides, I expect there to be goals, but I think the big story would be at the Bernabeu if Real Madrid actually were to lose, just to lose the first leg at the Bernabeu. Even that alone is a heavy story for them, because both on the pitch and off the pitch, they're not great at all. There's so much stuff going on. Even in the league, they're not doing so well. They're almost 4 points behind their leaders, but they are Champions League royalty for a reason. There's a reason they've won 15 Champions Leagues, but it will be a big shock in Europe if they lost at home, just the first leg alone. So it'll be very interesting to see, how these two teams come up.
Okay. I mean, do you think that anything is going to happen? Man City against Real Madrid.
That fixture is very familiar. We have seen it time and time again. Let's even say
Loads of times.
Yes. So sometimes you don't even know what to predict, but Man City looks to be in such good form than Real Madrid. Real Madrid are kind of depleted in terms of injury. Rodrigo out of the season. Kylian Mbappe still battling a lunk in his knee. And then the last game that they played against Celta Vigo, which they won 2-1, Vini was complaining about fatigue, too much games. But then it is the Champions League, you know the spirit. So let's hope that Real Madrid are able to salvage what is left of the season. They are trailing Barca in the Spanish league, but then the Champions League rather, they will want to reclaim their spot as kings of on European stage.
Yeah,
There's something
okay.
I want to say, but I think it's too early to say it. You know,
Okay, what's that?
Especially because the games haven't been played yet, so it's just I think I'll save it for now. Maybe next week.
Okay. Okay. I also think that it's looking as if Madrid might go trophyless this season, because if they had a chance of topping the table, but if they do not catch up with Barcelona, they have missed the chance. The Copa del Rey, they lost that chance, and now the Champions League doesn't look so visible for them. Like Sam had said, I would say that this Champions League this table right now structure looks like it's favoring Arsenal among the top big teams in the Champions League round of 16. But although we know the Champions League, we don't have a big team with that, but we can say that it looks like it's favoring Arsenal. Arsenal might not really have to face the top five, might not look so stressed, so tired before they get even out of the round of 16, because they are playing against Bayer Leverkusen, although they might be very, very dicey, but it looks as if Arsenal looks like the better side to get the side. The phone line is open before we leave this evening. And also, I also want to add the phone line is 07000 917 917. And also, I also want to add there that we might be having a fan corner very soon, where fans of clubs, especially in the EPL, will come around to tell us who they think and what is their perspective, who they think will win the league, how is the league being structured. I think maybe we might be having that later in the month. So if you are a fan, I think I can tell you just register ahead and look forward to that, because I can tell you it's going to be a very great experience. That'll be the size of the program this evening. Thank you so much for everyone who are listening. We love you so much. God bless Nigeria, and congratulations to all women in the world. Happy International Women's Day. We'll be back again next week. Same dial, same time, same station. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Break.